Hey everyone, RJ Ronquillo here for Positive Grid's Ignite Sessions, and we are celebrating their 10th anniversary. What you just heard was a sound I created in Bias Effects 2, and today I wanted to talk about one thing that you can do that will instantly spark creativity in your playing and pull you out of that rut. Many of us fall into musical ruts at some point in our journey. We end up playing the same licks, same chord voicings, and we're not able to come up with new, fresh ideas. Now, one of the quickest and easiest ways that's helped me get creative, and maybe something you've never even thought about, is tuning just one string differently from standard tuning. Now, I'm not asking you to try fully altered tunings like Dadgad or Open E, but just simply tuning one string from standard tuning up or down a half or whole step. Now, you may have already done something like this if you've ever experimented with drop D tuning. But let's try something new. One of my favorite things to do is take the high E string and tune it down a whole step to D. Now you can kind of think about it as like a reverse drop D tuning, right? Since we're tuning the high string down. Now what does that give us? Well, it's kind of a hybrid open G tuning on the top four strings. And then regular standard tuning on the bottom. The five strings that haven't changed, you can play your regular chords and licks. And then on the top four strings, it's kind of like G tuning. So you can bar across frets. You could do like, you know, Keith Richards stuff. But to start out, try playing some open chord shapes that you already know and listen to how the character has changed. For instance, let's fret an open E chord. Now that our high E string is tuned down to a D, it's making it kind of like an E7 sound. Let's go to a G chord. Kind of same thing there. It's like a G7. C. So that's kind of like a C add 9. Now don't worry about the names of these chords and the theory behind it. We're just using our ears and listening to how it adds a bit of a color to it. Here's our D shape. So that kind of has that D sus sound. So whereas this kind of D lick that we like to do would sound major in a standard tuning, now it's kind of taken a minor tonality to it. Here's A. Now if I bar all the way across, that's a regular A chord. A little suspended shape there if we play just a regular campfire A chord. That's something I like to do is, you know, you bar the A chord and then you can fret something on the 5th fret. Here's a F major 7 shape. A minor. That's cool. That's cool. And even with just these open chords, you can just play around with progressions that you're used to playing. So maybe like and then maybe move on to just like basic bar chords. So let's take an A bar chord that has that A7 tonality. Maybe a D shape. Let's make it a D sus. That's cool. Let's make it minor 7. This chord right here, the sound in standard tuning would be nearly impossible because you'd be having to play something like this. So being able to tune like this opens up new voicings that would be, some of them would be impossible to play normal standard tuning. Now that was just chords that we were playing with. We can actually try some single note stuff too, and improv and solo. And again, the most important thing to remember is don't think too much about theory and trying to transpose stuff now that we tune down the string. It's just really important to use your ears for this to discover, patterns and shapes that are going to look a little brand new. It's all about experimenting, which is part of being creative. So let's take maybe like an A minor pentatonic. So that kind of doesn't work. That normal pentatonic shape doesn't work on the first string. But this does if we do 5/7. So even doing kind of like a little pattern with this repeated G note, that's totally new to me. Or you could spice it up, and instead of playing 5/8 on the second string, play 5/7. So you're doing basically 5/7 on the top 4 strings. Almost has like this Mixolydian pentatonic feel to it. That was a lick that I would have never played in standard tuning just because of the intervals between the strings. So if we're sticking in, let's say, an A7 tonality, a shape that I like to use in this tuning is kind of what looks like it might be an E minor triad in standard tuning, but it actually sounds like... So really, right now I'm trying to find shapes that work in this new tuning here. So something like that. That was a lick I have never played before in my whole life. A lot of times we think we have to stay within the confines of the same standard guitar tuning, but remember, there are no rules. Don't let standard tuning hold you back from getting creative. There's tuning pegs on our instruments for a reason, and don't be afraid to use them. I encourage you to start playing around with this, and if you record video of yourself trying it out, share it on social media using the hashtag #FuturePositive for a chance to be featured on Positive Grid's website and social media accounts. And if you'd like to learn more and celebrate Positive Grid's 10-year anniversary, head over to positivegrid.com. Thanks again for watching. I'm RJ Ronquillo. Thanks to Positive Grid for letting me be a part of this, and get out there and enjoy guitar playing.